Super Mario Odyssey, so here we are in whatever video part this is, and I'm still here at Metro Kingdom, but we're going to be putting our mini moons back into the Odyssey here, so we need 20 to leave, but obviously you're probably going to end up with more by the time you're done wandering around inside of Metro Kingdom. Now, do remember that you really miss out on a whole lot of access to a ton of moons before you beat the game, so it's not really a bad idea to just kind of go through, finish the game, that way you can for sure go back and get every single moon inside of a world. Although, right about when you hit, I don't know, about 600 moons, you don't really need to get more. I mean, you can, but that's about where the content ends, is at about 600 moons, and you can, if you go and get some gold, there's some places where you can buy a ton of moons, and you can basically get 600 without actually collecting any, so I don't really know why they decided to make the game that way, but that option is available to you if you so desire, I guess. So the next kingdom we're going to is Seaside, and this is a pretty interesting kingdom. There's a lot to do here, a whole lot more than we're going to be doing in the 2 videos that I'll be spending inside of this kingdom. And it kind of goes back to the classic sort of swimming place, so we've already been to Lake Kingdom, but Seaside is more like Lake expanded because it's like a giant ocean, and it kind of makes me feel like they had hid the size of the kingdoms a little bit better. So if that makes any sense what I mean, especially in Sand Kingdom, there's a point where the whole world just sort of drops off and then you can see stuff in the background, but I kind of wish they did something else to kind of mask that that's the ending of that kingdom. Whether it's making a big hill that you can't see around or trees, I don't know. But especially in this one, it blends in pretty well with the ocean in the background, but there's a definite ending to it that you see when you actually reach it. But this is the glass is half empty. I guess it's actually one of the quest names. We have this giant octopus sitting on top of the bubbling soda on the fancy goblet, which you can actually buy from the store with purple coins. And I think I said that already, we're only going to be spending 2 videos here. The first video is going to be getting to the boss, the second video will be actually defeating the boss, and I think this is definitely my least favorite boss in this game so far. There's a ton of really cool ones, but this one just wasn't that cool. He's kind of annoying. I don't know, I don't like him that much. So we're going to be following these Bowser footprints, and you're going to see there's a giant cork in the ground. And of course, I'm just looking around to make sure that I see what I can, and I notice there's a bunch of stuff over here, so I'm going to see, is there maybe a moon over here or something I can get? But anyway, there's going to be 4 corks that you're going to want to break open, and that will fill in the bubbling soda enough to knock the octopus off of his goblet, and then we can actually start defeating him. So of course I get ramboed here by a dang Goomba, and I don't know, like, what is it in this with this game and Goombas, because Goombas hurt me the most out of anything. I don't understand why, and I'm pretty sure later on I die to one because of that. So there's our first purple coins there. There's a bunch of Goombas kind of to the left of us, and we can go over and get that right away if we want to. I don't know if I do that in this video, but there's stuff you do with the Goombas, of course, and also a, what's her name? A Goombella, somewhat nearby. So I don't think I'm doing that in this video, though, because I'm going to come on over here and finally hit this cork. So if you talk to this guy, he'll say that the sparkle water create the fountains, or the fountains of their water create the sparkle, whatever it is. But anyway, Bowser plugged these up, so we're going to ground pound on these, and we'll notice that isn't actually what you're supposed to do. We're going to talk on over to this guy, and we'll say, okay, we need to go push the button. So we're going to be finding various ways to get to the 4 different buttons. Now here's also why I'm not a fan of this world. These stupid little fish, which are pretty fun, kind of. These fish will hurt you too, because they like to just squirt out their water right straight at you before you can actually do anything. And the other interesting thing with these guys is that you can move up, but you can also move sideways with them, meaning you can move forward and backward and any other direction with those guys when they're in midair. And the more that you use their jet stream, then the more that the bubble around them goes away. I did not really know any of that when I was making this video, because as I said, this is like my first playthrough recording, so I was doing this the hard way by going only upwards and not knowing that you can burst around in circles or forward and backward. So I think I figured that out at some point during the boss. I can't remember though. So we'll find out. I may have done it in hard mode accidentally the entire way, but I guess we'll see. So there's the first moon. It's not too hard to get up there with the fishy guy. And you'll just collect the moon, stomp the button, and then come on back down here when that's done and get another fish. And right there, okay, there we go. I do figure out very quickly that, apparently a lot quicker than I remember, I do figure out that you can boost around that way as the fish. Now, a really annoying thing with this guy is that when you are on a solid surface like this, if you try to boost, then you're just going to boost in place. You're not going to boost around. So you can't boost yourself off of solid surfaces, unfortunately. If you want to do that, what you're going to need to do is get up off the surface and then start boosting around. If you play this, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's kind of why I don't really like those fishy guys. There's also a secret sort of dungeon with 2 moons in it in this kingdom a little bit later on that you can, I think you have to come back at the end of the game to get to it, but you go for 2 moons pretty much exclusively as those fish guys, and it is definitely my least favorite one so far. I do not like doing that one, but this isn't a 100% walkthrough or guide or anything, so I don't think I end up recording that actually. Now, if we remember back with Lake Kingdom, I dived all the way down, or I guess I dove all the way down. Alright, let's try this again. I decided to cut out the last 5 minutes of me swimming around like an idiot and also discovering that you don't actually need the Cheep Cheep to come down here, because as soon as you do, which you can do without the Cheep Cheep pretty easily, you'll just be turned back into Mario and then spawned next to 2 spinning, swimming Cheep Cheeps here. So throw your hat on one of them and then go on through the underground cavern. Now, of course, one of the reasons I just said that I'm going to try this again is because I was rudely interrupted while I was recording this narration, and then my stupid microphone failed, and then after that, I forgot to unmute my microphone from when I muted it a little bit earlier before then. So hopefully now everything's working. All my stuff is going on. This video is going to be a little bit choppy. Hopefully that'll improve in next ones, but hey, this is what you get with first playthrough stuff, so anyway. I don't know if I said this or not before. I may have. I don't think I actually get all 4 of the corks in this video. I think I get a few more of them in the next one, but this one is definitely the longest. I think I get a solid amount of them, though. But anyway, this one's definitely the longest cork. This takes a little while to get, compared to the others anyway. Realistically, they're all pretty short, but especially for the first time when you're not sure what to do. Make sure that you get all the purple coins while you're down here, just so you don't have to come back later if that's your eventual goal. It is pretty cool getting all of the purple coins, because then you get to clutter up your Odyssey with a bunch of cool items, but other than that, you don't really get a whole lot for them. Purple coins will be necessary for a couple of stars though, because you'll have to buy some outfits to unlock a couple of areas, so just keep that on your mind when you're looking around this game. So there's the moon on top of the lighthouse, and we're gonna get that, and then bust open the other cork, and that will free up 2 out of the 4. And then I'm pretty sure we go get a 3rd one in this video. The 3rd one will be kind of where that dinosaur is right now. I must have some pretty giant force behind that cork to hurt that guy, especially since it seems that he's kind of squishy, so you think his brain would, or his head, the octopus head, would be able to absorb a decent amount of impact, but hey, what do I know about Mario Octopi? Alright, so we're going to come on over here, and if you can find another Cheep Cheep or another fish, this will go a little bit quicker. There's some binoculars there that you can use if you want to look around, and the cool thing about the binoculars, I don't know if this is always necessary for beating the game or not, but if you look up in the sky, if you go on the binoculars and then you look up in the sky, in some kingdoms there's going to be a couple of floating, just random floating, like a taxi or a sphinx will be up in the sky, and if you zoom in on them, then you get a free moon, so that's cool. Anyway, here we kind of get something reminiscent of Super Mario, what's that one? Sunshine, that's right, Sunshine. So we've dealt with poison in the past from a couple of Koopaling bosses, or the Broodals, not the Koopalings, the Broodals. We've dealt with them in the past, so that's pretty cool, but here we're going to have to get rid of lava, much like you'd get rid of paint with water inside of Sunshine, and also get this checkpoint just so you can clear out the hot spring. So all we need to do is get rid of most of the lava inside of the water there, and you can do that by swimming over it, or, well, you can't really swim over it, but you can spray over it with this guy, and you're gonna, as you can see right there, eventually it actually starts hitting it. So if you start spinning as these, then you can hit them quite a bit easier than if you try to do it just by going up. So once you get down into the water, You won't really have to worry too much. I was a little bit worried here. Was this water gonna hurt me? Was it hot enough? But no, the hot springs luckily are just warm, so you don't really have to worry about them hurting you, but clear out enough so you can get these purple coins over here, and then also go get that moon. And once we get the moon, that will be the 3rd cork, and also the end of this video, so that must mean that we actually get the 4th cork in the next video, but I know for a fact we do fight the boss in the next one too, so I will see you then.